But yeah, I remember watching you ride that bike.
Yeah, I don't know. It may have been on my Instagram back in the day or something. Like I'm not.
I feel like it was like
What's
it.
the plate? It's not Star West though, right? Like where the.
Nah,
No,
nah.
it
I
wasn't a
feel like it
GoPro.
was like a SWAT moto video. Maybe SWAT wasn't around. Maybe it was Transworld or something. But I can't. I just remember watching a video of you ride. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Star West, dude.
Yeah, I remember there was just we were. I forgot what the track was called, but we did like a Honda show, whatever, like intro or something like that. On
Yeah,
the East
yeah,
Coast
yeah.
somewhere. That track was pretty sweet.
So yeah, is this it?
Oh no, that's
That's
that Honda
the
intro.
yeah.
But yeah, it was that bike, and it was really really fun to ride.
Do you do you sometimes think that factory bikes they just make them so like too different from stock, or do you guys like have to do that?
No, because in 2016, I went from RCH was 2015 and 16. I
Yeah,
hated the bike in 2015. It was terrible.
really.
Hated it. And 2016, late 15s, Oscar Wirdeman came into play, and then he was my mechanic, right? And whatever we did to the bike, and I think we ran a lot of like stock parts and stuff, and made a bunch of changes. Basically the same motorcycle, but completely different at the same time. And it was like the best and easiest bike I've ever ridden.
Yeah, because 16, dude, you just dominated.
Yeah, I never for outdoors like we went up to Zaka to test and we plugged whatever in, motor in, this in, that in. I'm like, yep, perfect, yep, good, yep, great, and I just never touched a clicker, and then off we went.
That's so crazy. And that was how many motos did you lose that season?
I think it was four
Was it
total.
3 or 4?
One was Glen Helen because so I had this super sick pressure release valve for the air fork that I rode because they would always pump up like quite a bit to where like it wouldn't even feel like the same motorcycle. And they built a pressure release valve, and it was kind of like a kill switch. And I was only able to push it as I'm jumping, so the fork's fully extended. You push it, and just the excess air would come out. But I don't know if some dirt got in there or whatever. I think it just pushed it as it was, like I was on the ground, whatever, and it just lost all the air. I'm not 100% sure
Oh,
what happened to it, but I definitely lost all the air. And at Glen Helen, and we had like maybe 2.5 or 3 laps to go, and like a freaking almost 3-minute lap time. Like if you have to roll every single jump, you're out there for one lap for freaking 5 minutes. So I'm like, man, let's just bring this home. And so I lost that one. I definitely lost Southwick. I tried really hard. We had a really good battle, me and Eli.
Yeah.
But he went 1-1 there, and I believe I lost one in Washougal. So it was 4 total.
That's mental, bro.
Yeah, it was a
And
good.
especially to do that with Eli Tomac in the field.
Yeah, it was. Man, it was a year like probably one of my favorite years, and it was. I don't know my age. Like I was just at the right time. I was strong as an ox. Really liked my bike, and just I don't know. It was a year where like maybe I couldn't put a foot wrong. I guess if that makes sense.
What, like Eli was talking about just like that flow state in 15, and he was having those motos just in like that crazy flow state. Was that season to you?
I think for me, what was the biggest thing is that I loved my bike, hands down. I think it was maybe a bit more of a funky setup, in general, but that's exactly how I liked it. And I think I just trusted it. And, when I think it made me feel a little bit like my GP style. And I don't even know if the setting may have been from Europe, honestly. I'm not 100% sure, but it felt so familiar to me. And I think that's kind of like how my bikes were back in the day when I was in Europe. And I just had a crazy connection to my motorcycle, and really, of course, I was strong and fit. That's what got me the confidence and everything. But I could just almost feel like I'd do whatever I wanted, and sometimes even at the practice track, the thing would step out. We had this long. Peyton always talks about it. My practice mechanic. I have this long roller section into the speed jump, right? And our tracks in 2016 were super beat up because it never rained. We always left it the same, and the thing would step out and do all kinds of stuff, but I knew exactly what it was doing, so I was able to just go for it. And Peyton was like, dude, and I'm like, oh, I didn't feel that bad to me because I don't know, I just knew what it was doing. I had crazy connection to my motorcycle, and that in the end that was just a recipe for success.
Man, that would have been the best feeling.
It was, because when you can go from race to race to race without touching a clicker, and you've ridden in mud, you've ridden in hard pad, you've ridden in tacky, and it kind of like is always feeling pretty decent. That's like a solid mental spot to be in, where you're just like, okay, I can just focus on racing and get my ducks in a row that way and just go.
Yeah, dude. No, that would have been insane. I just remember watching that season and just being completely blown away
Yeah.
by just like even just the lines you were taking and just speed, just like heads up speed. And like, even Eli was saying he just remembers that roller section in Millville and you just blew past him and he's just like, what is going, like, how is this dude doing this?
Yeah. And the crazy part was because, that race gets brought up often, or I see videos pop up all the time or whatever. And I was so locked in that it didn't feel like I was, smashing it. It just came so, now that I think back, it just came so easy to me. Of course, in that moment, like, I wanted to win, had to win, and it's tough and whatever. But now looking back, like, I didn't feel like I did anything out of this place. But it was just, like I said, I was really, really, really connected. And I think ultimately, yeah, at that year, I just was faster than everybody for some reason. Yeah, but then, it's still not now you can look back and I won 20 motos or whatever, but at that point, you don't know if you're going to win that many motos because it's all the unknown. So I had to definitely work for it mentally and physically to make that happen. But now that I look back, yeah, I'm just like every weekend, I was just like super connected.
Even Ricky said that, like he just did the pod the other day and he's like, man, you're going on perfect season, you're going like you're 22 and you still don't think you're going to win the last two motos. Mm-hmm. Like mentally, you're still trying not to lose.
Well, it's a lot of, you look at something that you don't want to do, which is lose those last two motos when you've just won 22. You will focus on that. Like for some reason, we always focus, on the negative. You have to force yourself to like not do that, and it's not always easy. But yeah, for some reason, we always go to like the worst case scenario or like almost to the negative side of thing. It may be like a natural way for humans to think. It's not healthy always, you know what I mean? You shouldn't because you don't know. It could go either way. Then it goes good, you win both motos, and then you're like, what the heck did I stress for?
Yeah, why was I tripping?
Exactly.
Yeah, well, you think like evolutionary, right? Like the humans that are going to survive are the ones that hear a rattle in the bush and they're like, is that a tiger?
Yeah.
Because if it is and you don't get the jump on the tiger,
yeah,
you ain't living, son.
You ain't living.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.